I'd say the heroes on IG side can actually push pretty fast. I mean, that's a Wind Ranger. At level 6, you just focus fire building down. It's not going to last too long. AM does take a while to get to that point for the push, but he right-clicks pretty fast too. It should be easy enough to eat through that living armor as the game goes on. So it's going to be interesting to see just how much that's going to stall out the game. It is going to make the laning phase a bit harder to apply that pressure though. Like IG, as we mentioned, do want to get a lot of early kills, a lot of early control, and that's where the living armor could have a lot of benefits for Newbee. Whether or not they can invest in the early levels for that rather than playing aggressive with a different sort of build is another question, but you do see Fate go for that level 1 Nature's Grasp as you tend to see, so they want to apply some damage for themselves as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, odds were just on the screen, and IG certainly looking to be heavy favorites for Game 1. We saw this yesterday with Newbee and eHome as well, and Newbee did manage to take a game off them, even though the odds were heavily against them. So there you have it. I don't doubt IG or Newbee one bit going into this first game. It should be a very, very entertaining and hopefully even series, as yesterday's was. I mean, that was a great series yesterday. Great way to start off.
The battle begins.
It'll be a 2-for-2 trade on the bounties. Nothing too special. Neither team really wanted to risk anything. IG, they are going to start off with the tri-lane up top, as you tend to do with an Earth Spirit. And, well, Newbee are doing a similar thing. They've got the tree down bot, Faith. Like you said, he has the grasp up. And both teams appear to be wanting to go for a very early first blood attempt. And I've got to say, I'm a bit concerned here for IG, because you look at that AM, Fly. He did go for the early point in Mana Break, which is what you generally do, but not saving that skill point just in case you needed Blink. This tri-lane that's being run right now, they should be able to find First Blood very, very easily.
Definitely. It's AM at level 1 is probably one of the weaker heroes to have. Should be fairly straightforward. They do have the God's Rebuke instead though, so it's a lot less control, a lot more damage coming out from Newbee down bot.
Top lane, Mugi getting jumped on. Looks like they didn't want to dive him underneath the T1 tower, so they'll leave that be. Mugi will survive the initial onslaught, as Faith is still waiting for his chance to get in there and get that grasp off and start hitting away. Fly, just the fact that he has that equilibrium though is going to make it so they waste their time, and Faith says screw it, I'm going up top where we'll go after Ollie instead, but roll in. Kaka going to be there to save the CM, and now Mugi going to be slowed down by that Orb of Venom, and this should be first blood. Kaka will dive underneath the T1, he'll die, but it doesn't matter. The golden XP is more than worth it for an Earth Spirit. It'll end up being a 1-for-1, but definitely IG gets a small advantage.
Definitely. They managed to at least find that first kill they desperately want. With a hero like the Earth Spirit, that's something you look for when this hero is picked up. That early aggression has to pay off, and it certainly does, although there is a bit of a chase onto Fate. Looks like Ollie's in just a touch of trouble.
He is. Faith still chasing him down. Now Mugi actually going to TP in. It's quite easy, I guess. I mean, you don't necessarily want Mugi to rotate like that on a pos 1 Prophet, but if it means a guaranteed kill, I don't see why not. As now they go into Emo, and Emo really has no way out of this. AQ going to keep chasing him down. Adaptive Strike will not be enough. Emo will barely be able to salve up, and it was just based on that quick Aether Remnant he just threw out, holding AQ down for a second or so. It's more than enough time to actually let him get out safely.
Definitely. It's interesting mid lane to see. You don't see this kind of matchup too often, the Morphling up against that Void Spirit. And Emo is having the better time of it for now, 13-4 compared to our Morphlings 10-3, so AQ off to a bit of a slower start. I think that's down to the damage that Emo can pump out compared to the Morphling. It's much easier for him to get up there, clear a wave, and apply some harass onto EQ as well.
Yeah, that Resonant Pulse makes it so difficult to try and get close and contest. I mean, you can't harass the Void Spirit, that's the thing. Like, he just gets the shield up, you take some damage, and he takes nothing. AQ understands this matchup, I'm sure. He's just got to work through this very frustrating Aether Remnant and Resonant Pulse spam that we are seeing. And you've got to give credit to Emo, because sometimes you see Void Spirits, they continuously miss these Aether Remnants because you don't have the setup for it and they aren't easy to land, Emo is basically landing every single time. So again, lands another one. And it's AQ. Of course, he can just juggle his HP, but it's going to be quite frustrating to have to play up against this.
Oh, definitely. It does look like Newbee isn't going to be focusing on that mid. In fact, they're trying to make a move on JT up top.
Yeah, JT falling low, he will eat a Fairy Fire and does have a salve. Find it quite intriguing as well for Faith. He didn't opt to go for an Orb of Venom, which arguably got buffed with that movement slow at 15% now. You think it would have been quite effective in this game up against JT, but it seems as though he does prefer having the Tranquils up quick.
I think that's down to the fact that they did grab the orb on Wizard, and they figured they were going to hold that bot lane a bit longer. They did have to swap out there to apply that pressure.
Speaking of Wizard, gets jumped on a little bit by JT, or Fly I should say, and was one of the frustrating things for Mars being his very, very low mana pool. Up against an AM, it will constantly pretty much be 0, but he does have a Soul Ring and a Mango sitting there, so always has the potential to bring it back up if he does need a spear. Gonna agree though, we're about to hit that 5-minute mark, and so far it's looking pretty darn good for IG. 25-9 for JT for Emo on the Void Spirit, and AM sitting at 23-3 just behind him. So they have found the early laning stage start that they're looking for though. Kaka, mid lane, currently behind the tier 2 tower. YG just going to chase him down on the Phoenix. And you do have some Fire Spirits. He does pop it now, and Kaka does go for the TP away. YG, can he get the damage out? No. Not quite. Kaka will be at the fountain and will survive.
He was trying to go for that bounty rune at the 5-minute mark. He was chased down by 2 heroes, not quite enough to force him out. Just kind of toying around there. Still does manage to waste a fair bit of time. That was Wizard trying to get that chase on as well. So he did miss out on a bit of CS, and that is a slight win for IG. I mean, look, the more free farm you get on your AM, the happier you are, and the Morphling is doing just fine as well, 27-4. That's the mid lane, though. Like, they are getting farm on their Morph at the very least, but, you know, you're not slowing down this AM anytime soon, it does look like.
Yeah. I mean, Kaka that was in that mid lane, like, he wouldn't have cared about that time that he was using. Like, he's already got an earn up. That's a pretty big deal considering he got it around 5 minutes. And Mugi, smoke breaks. He should have spotted them out, though apparently no, the trees were blocking him in, and now the Frost Nova comes out. Roll in with the power shot, Mugi. He gets kicked back. There's YG trying to help and slow them down with those Fire Spirits, and it should be enough. Those level 2 Fire Spirits with the attack speed slow, just not allowing him to get the damage out. While that's happening, Fly actually gets caught out down at the bot lane. Wizard had the damage output with Faith there on the Tree and Protector, and they do finally pick off that position 1 AM.
Yeah, that's a much better start now for Newbee, just getting that initial kill on the AM, forcing the rotations out from IG to try to find these kills across the map, because they have to play aggressive with that Earth Spirit. It hasn't really paid off as much as you'd expect. They've only got 1 kill so far. Their lanes have been a bit better off in terms of CS, but you expect a bit more presence from the Earth Spirit and the CM at this point, and they're just not really finding the kills as often as you'd want.
I have to agree. Yeah, you got a quick earn up, which is good and well, but if you can't get any kills with this hero, it does start to drop off, and he's still sitting at level 2. Of course, he does have very, very early power spikes at the level 5, 6, you could argue 7 and 10 mark on the Earth Spirit, especially the 10 mark. You do get the plus 65 damage talent. It is kind of imbalanced, not gonna lie. Don't tell Ice Frog though. Don't want it nerfed again. But he's going to be sitting at level 2 for a while. It is going to hurt as AQ going to try and contest Emo mid lane for some jungle farm. When he juggles those stats, it is pretty hard to contest though. Kaka will show himself now. Has hit the level 3. Does have level 2 Boulder Smash, but without the silence, I don't think you have a chance of really taking that out. As top lane, Ollie getting very, very low on that CM, and the Nature's Wrath will be enough to finish the job off. They do get another kill on the side of Newbee.
Yeah, I like these wards coming out from Newbee. It's really aggressive on the top lane and down mid as well. They've got a lot of vision around the map, and that's something the NP can play around with that Rat of Nature if you're not too careful. So that does give them good scouting of the Earth Spirit rotations as well, which would help explain why Kaka has just not managed to get the jump on anyone, really.
Yeah, you only have 2 smokes per 10 minutes, so it can be pretty rough to actually get in range to do something. Kaka, we'll see how he adapts. It's like Ollie does TP down bot, and Emo, I believe, is also joining. He has hit that level 8 mark now. They look to try and make a play onto Wizard, though instead, Faith is the much easier target on the tree, and Ash will step forward, and Faith, I'm pretty sure he knows he's just dead. 8th Remnant will connect from Emo. And, well, Newbee, they'll still maintain a 2k net worth lead, but this is that point where you've got to be very concerned about where this Void Spirit is.
It has been a pretty good start for Emo. I don't think you can really say he's shut down AQ on his lane, though. Like, it was a rough start for AQ. He's got his treads, he's got his Morbid Mask up, so he can just go jungle freely. And that's really one of the targets that IG should have been aiming to take out, but again, the rotations just weren't paying off.
Kaka's going to show himself in mid. He's just going to be there to make sure that this T1 is defended. While Emo is going to stay down bot with Ollie, and they go again onto Faith. 8th Remnant going to connect, and Faith can't really escape this, surely. He tries the Living Armor. Nature's Wrath comes in. Mugi actually TPs as well, trying to go onto Fly. Emo running away, and he does have Astral Step available. Wizard, you have a spear in a second. But 8th Remnant, Astral Step, Wizard already loses half his HP. Emo will take the boundary rune for himself and get a full bottle up, and well, that rotation from Mugi will mean nothing.
Yeah, it does force the movement out of the Prophet, so that does free some of the lanes just a bit. That top lane is just a bit easier to access for JT, although I believe right now Mugi has been kind of playing in that jungle and is going for the push in the bot lane. So you're starting to see these towers get shoved in, and you're starting to see the effect of that NP with the treants coming out, starting to do that right-click damage, and slowly but surely taking control away from the map from IG. You've already got that good vision we talked about from Newbee. Once you lose these objectives, then you really just have no control in those jungle areas.
Absolutely. Spot T1 does go down. Mugi still making work happen with that rotation, regardless of the kill not happening. And well, IG, they've slowed down quite a bit. It almost feels like they're a little bit lost as to what to do here. Look to mid lane, Wizard. He's gone, just trying to set up onto Emo. Spear though doesn't land. There was no tree. Meanwhile, YG does find Ollie up at the top side jungle. So the CM does end up getting taken down by the Phoenix. Nice little pickup from him. Bit unfortunate about that Void Spirit, because had that spear hit, it should have been a guaranteed kill.
Yeah, that would have been pretty big for Newbee. I think they're still going to be very happy with the tower take anyway. So they've got 2 towers now. They are coalescing up top.
Kaka's there. JT is going to win run away. No rotations coming out from IG to really be here to help. And JT, he does get spotted. Wizard, he'll be able to land the spear. Man. And there's no helping him now. It's all YG. He's always scouting out for his team. And Wizard had the easiest spear set up in his life.
Yeah, it's been a good run for YZ. It's been so good that he's at level 7 already, and we have yet to see our egg.
Look at Mugi rotating onto Ollie once again. The CM just feeding the side of Newbee at the moment. And Mugi, I mean, at this rate, he's going to have a very, very fast Orchid. It's going to make the lives of IG very, very difficult in this game 1. And I'm getting more and more concerned for IG as the game goes on, John. 5k is the net worth lead for Newbee, 12.5 minutes in.
They're really putting a lot of emphasis on Fly. They're just letting the AM kind of try to free farm up IG. Of course, that is really the best you can do with that hero, right? Once you commit to this kind of draft with the AM, you want that AM to get as big as possible. This does mean IG's timings are going to be a bit off, but Newbee has really been maximizing that, right? They've been building up on AQ. He's got his Ghost Scepter up, working towards that shotgun and the E-Blade. And once that's up and running, you should expect the Morphling to have some more presence on the map. But all these rotations right now from Newbee have been without the Morphling showing up, and they haven't even expended any of their ultimates beyond that rat of nature. So you still have the egg that could come down, you still have the arena, you still have the overgrowth. And that's just going to be a lot to deal with for IG.
We see Fly trying to chase down Faith on the tree, but doesn't really get anywhere near enough damage to have a kill going on there. The top lane, Wizard, going to be the target of a smoke attempt from IG. Courier does fly past, they ignore that, they go straight after the actual Mars with that Shackle, and of course the focus fire. It will be very, very easy to take him down, and Emo is the one to claim the kill on the Void Spirit. They will finally be able to secure their first T1 of the game. Unfortunately, it is a bit of a slow process because they used focus fire, but it will eventually get done.
Yeah, they get themselves a nice kill, they take control in that jungle. You do see them playing a bit more forward now. They've got some nice aggressive wards from the side of IG. There is a pretty good defensive ward from Newbee as well to watch out now. So they're a bit more secure there still. They did manage to successfully smoke up for that kill, but I don't think you're going to be too satisfied with just the Mars. I think you'd want to find more. In fact, Newbee do smoke up themselves. They're trying to find something.
Yeah, as soon as they see the CM in that observer ward, immediately the TPs come in mid and the smoke pops. Newbee, Arena of Blood is up. YG also has the egg. Spear doesn't land. Emo with a great dodge, and now he's just juking and jiving around them. Arena has been dropped, but it's only on Ollie. So the CM is going to die, but do you really care? Emo, he jumped back in with the Astral Step. Yules is there, but the egg, it's going to pop, and they have the damage from AQ. And a bit of a miscalculation from Emo. He used his last charge of Astral Step to go back in to a Phoenix egg.
Yeah, it looked like he might have gotten away with that. It looked a bit iffy for Newbee at first, but then it just kind of fell apart. They overextend just a bit on IG's side. They both felt like they were playing into vision, so I can see why IG was opting to try for it. Like, they had that ward further out. It just didn't watch down the ramp, and there was a smoke from Newbee, so just a lack of information kind of costing IG there, and that will be the Roche going the way of Newbee. So they've got additional ways of taking these fights now, and just a little bit more security as the game goes on.
7k net worth lead as well. Mugi, he has the Orchid as well as that Aegis, and you have a look at the Morphling right now, AQ, he almost has the full shotgun build going. The Ethereal Blade so close to finishing. Looks like mid lane, they do manage to pick off the Mars quite quickly, so Karkar picks up a kill. But once this Ethereal Blade's up on the Morph, I don't know if you can keep running at Newbee. It's up.
It's up.
That's a problem.
Oh, IG, I mean, again, they're playing around their AM. They're not really trying to force anything big out until Fly is ready to just split push from these fights that they force out. But that's going to be a while. And even then, once these fights are breaking out, you see the power of Newbee. When they launch all of their ultimates, there's no counterplay. Not without any sort of BKB coming out from any of these heroes anytime soon. So that will allow Newbee to dictate these fights with her ults.
Well, Fly caught up on the overgrowth, a nice smoke, and now the shotgun comes out. It's not quite enough. The AM, though, still being silenced, though Counterspell will dispel that, and now Power Shot flying through Mugi. He's starting to fall low. Emo, can you burst him down? He can. That's the Aegis gone, but Newbee are not done. They want to go for more. And IG, they do not want to return that favor. JT, only one really left around the danger area. This Newbee are going to chase him down. However, they sprout and waveform the wrong way. JT does manage to get a nice juke off, and so nobody really dies. IG, however, I'm sure are going to be just happy with the fact that they got that Aegis off Mugi.
Yeah, take some pressure off from IG, knowing that there isn't a second life to play with, although AQ just finds JT, gets the shotgun combo off, and cleans up the Wind Ranger anyway.
That's, like, you get it eventually. Gotta give props to Fly, maxing out the counterspell as well. He seemed to understand that the Morphling was farming a bit too fast, and doesn't opt to go for the mana break at max level. And the counterspell was actually, I believe, the thing that saved him through the shotgun, because that magic resist is quite high, 45% at max level.
Yeah, not only that, but he reflected the Orchid back to Mugi, and that was what caused Mugi to die. He was just kind of silenced up, not much he could really do while copying the right clicks from Emo. And that did cost him a Sage. Still, IG is playing from behind, and they're not quite front. The Sentry just missed out on that Obs as well. So that should still allow Newbee to basically walk around their jungle.
They are. Ollie, again, going to be the main target. Orchid going to be flown out, and... Oh, Aether Remnant does connect, but it doesn't really do anything to help Ollie as Faith. Going to continue to chase Emo down, and he does have Overgrowth. Emo has Astral Step available, as well as the Yules. They won't bother trying. Emo, just going to TP his way. You still call that a win for Newbee. Like, they have so much late game potential with the Prophet and the Morphling. It's... Even with the AM, it's still kind of hard to see them being able to contest Newbee later on.
Definitely. It's simply hard down to the fact that IG just does not have great team fight. Like, when it comes to throwing your 5 heroes around, Newbee has a definite advantage, right? And we're not even seeing anything like a BKB coming out anytime soon from these heroes. Like, you take a look at Emo, he's building straight to that Ags, which is really potent, but it's not going to save him when he's controlled up by all the spells Newbee has to offer.
It's very true. Fly, I mean, he basically just picked up that Battle Fury on the AM. It's not the fastest timing we've seen, but should help him escalate his farm quite a bit now. Question is, will the side of Newbee give him the time of day to farm, as they are forcing in a top tier 2 tower. And IG not really going to be there to respond. Instead, they'll push out the bot T1. You do have a bit of added bonus damage from JT, as he does now have the MKB completely finished. But Wizard jumps in with the arena and the spear. Still, he does have help around. Ollie, you have that ultimate. He'll start channeling it, but Wizard's starting to fall low. The egg has been dropped. That YG egg, can he channel it all the way? Faith is trying to go on. Fly can't really finish it off. Aether Remnant will not connect either, as Emo now going to be chased down. Does juke. Does Astral Step, does TP, can they stop that? They don't even need to. AQ just has the damage.
Oh,
disastrous fight coming out from IG. They don't even find the tier 1 tower. And yeah, I thought IG would be able to turn that when Wizard jumped in on the Mars, but it turns out that that Newbee can rotate quite quickly.
Yeah, I think they were on their way to defend, which is why Wizard went in really hard on that blink. And I feel like that's what Newbee's been lacking. They haven't really been initiating with YC. They have been relying on the Mars a lot to just walk up and try to land those spears. With that blink dagger up and running, Newbee should be able to take that initiative much more often. And as long as they keep getting those kills like that, forcing IG to somewhat respond to try to defend, then it's just not going to work out. Even if you throw, again, all 5 heroes on top of each other, it's just the damage and the control is just all on Newbee's side.
You see JT almost getting caught there by Mugi, and Mugi's still trying to find him, actually. He teleports, but JT is running directly south. Prophet with the clumsy net and Orchid. It's a very dangerous combination. He did throw it out on JT and ended up being too out of range to actually get any further auto attacks off. But had it been in range, I don't think JT would have survived. Do IG. Gonna smoke up now. Fly also gonna be there to join them if necessary. And the trains have been blocked up just a tiny bit by Ollie. So Newbee may understand, and yeah, they seem to. They back off. As AQ now bot lane ends up getting Emo on the Void Spirit. Emo
that was
top lane. Wizard has been jumped on. Sunray is going to be there to try and help, but it's so much damage coming out. Wizard, he's still alive, but he shouldn't be much longer. He drops the arena. Nobody's going to be there to follow up with that. But you saw how much it took, especially once that Sunray started going. It just seemed to take him so long to just get one hero.
Yeah, it's kind of hard right now for IG. They just don't really have the damage. Mars is a really tanky hero. We don't even see that many majorly tanky items up on Wizard just yet, but he is going towards that BKB, and once that's up, your control is just not there, right? You don't have any way of keeping this Mars in control. There is another smoke from IG. They should be able to find AQ.
Gets the silence, boulder smash, and gets the stun off. He got the Ghost Scepter off. AQ just going to be able to waveform out of there, and now Mugi, he's in there straight on top of Ollie once again. Meanwhile, AQ will go after Kaka on the Earth Spirit and rolls on top of the roll. Kaka getting styled on. It's going to be a double coming out from Newbee. And now you have that Earth Spirit form. You can start rolling around the map. That's always very, very effective.
Oh man, it's just rough. IG, they went for that second aggressive smoke. They were trying to find someone down bot. They found the biggest target they could find. They just had no control. There was no follow-up. They couldn't get in with a root in time with their CM. They got the silence off initially, but it just wasn't enough. It is, it's just a rough spot to be in right now for IG. I think what they have to do is try to find objectives with Fly. He's all set to go for that split push. You cannot take these fights.
Every time I look away from AQ, he finds another kill. This time JT in the mid lane, and now top lane, Wizard makes a jump onto the AM, and they got the Orchid off Mugi. Had time before the counter spell. They need more damage though. Fly, he does eventually get out with the blink. Can they have a spear? Not quite, it's a second away. And never mind Orchid, he's got a Bloodthorn on the Prophet.
Yeah, it's just been a really good run here for Newbee. They've got really good farm under top 2 Chorus, the Morphling, and the NP. So you're seeing a pretty kitted out NP. You have to remember, again, the damage coming out from that change Wrath of Nature is quite potent if you're not careful.
AQ once again. He finds Ollie, gets a kill. Mid lane. YG gonna turn on to Fly. Bloodthorn gonna be there. He mances it off, but the spear from Wizard, just perfect. Mugi's godlike. And this game couldn't have gone any worse for IGs. Now they're 16k net worth behind. I mean, your AM, he's just got mad to Battle Fury. It just doesn't seem to be anywhere near enough as top lane.
JT.
Overgrowth. JT gets caught out. Mugi gonna be there with the Bloodthorn again. And he just stands. He knows he's dead.
Oh, it's rough, right? Like, Fate's got his blink on that Treant. He can just jump in, commit the ultimate. They don't even need the Overgrowth at this point. They just need 2 out of 3 ults up if they're going to go for a full team fight. And Newbee understands that. They can just apply so much pressure on the map now. Really just play really far forward as much as they want. The Roche is up now as well. They don't have vision on IG's side to see that Roche. So it's going to be a free Roche for Newbee if they're not careful.
I don't see how you stop it though. The only chance you have is maybe Karka tries to roll in and steal it. But with the Bloodthorn up, it just melts so quick. They're not going to have time to react to this. Newbee. Take it for free. That's an Aegis and Cheese. AQ at the same time does finish off his full BKB now. And it looks like they're ready to push again as Faith. Look at where he is. He sees Emo and Karka. Emo gonna jump on top of Wizard. The Mars falling quite low, but now they go after the Earth Spirit. Karka does survive the initial shotgun as Mugi gonna be chased down. AQ starts rolling in. Newbee, after losing Wizard, they don't really have that tanky frontliner. They don't want to have to commit any further.
Yeah, I don't think they can take a fight when, Overgrowth's on cooldown and they only have the egg. So they needed the Mars to try to force something out there. Rather unfortunate, but a good pick off from IG. That is just going to slow Newbee down for a bit more. It will allow them to build up a bit more on Fly. He's still really far behind the AM. 13k network roundabouts compared to the 17k that you're seeing on the Morphling and the NP. Of course, you are seeing some good drops coming out for Fly. Does get 2 tier 3 items going for his team at the very least. And that should just allow him to get some more damage out.
Well, IG still holding on to this game. They're nowhere near done yet. Emo actually looks to be rushing a Dagon now, which is a very interesting build to say the least. I don't know how that's going to work. He does have the Ags. So it seems his objective is to just continue that burst potential on any hero he runs past. Meanwhile, bot lane, we may have another engagement as YG's making his way down on the Phoenix. And Fly is going to be around the area on the AM. Manta? Just to threaten YG. He will be able to just Icarus dive out. And meanwhile, Outpost was taken by Faith. We do see the pings as well. They ping that mid lane. They seem to want to try and go for that tier 3. You can slowly siege this with a Prophet Morphling. AQ just very far forward. Just scared of nothing with that 10-second BKB charge as well as an Aegis and Lincoln Sphere. Now bot lane. Fly, he's gone too far after that. Phoenix Bloodthorn gonna come out. They got the overgrowth off him. Fly. Thought he was going for an easy kill. Ends up costing him his own life.
I like the prioritization here from Newbee. They were grouping up for a push on the high ground, but they see the AM isolated. They go for that AM kill first, knowing that he's going to try to split push if they push up, punish that AM, and they smoke up immediately, head back down mid to find additional kills before the high ground.
Gotta sight the Vice up now on YG, and well, we see a jump in from Emo. Icarus Snipe gonna be there from the Phoenix, and Ollie immediately blown up, and now the egg is there. Wizard, he misses the arena, but they found Karkar anyway. They really wanted to get JT on that Wind Ranger, but it doesn't matter.
Wow.
The GG's been called, and I mean, are you too shocked by that? Like 21k ahead now for Newbee. I don't really see IG being able to come back in this game with this kind of draft.
I mean, Emo just picked up his Dagon, though. He literally just built his Dagon, didn't get to use it. They tap it, they don't... Well,